What's happening, guys? I'm Techsaurus. Welcome to the new season of Setup Wars. After every 50 episodes, I tend to start a new season. But this time, I want to do something a little different, you guys. I've been doing Setup Wars for over 150 episodes, and it's pretty much the same format for a long time. So I'm going to try something different, and I want to see if you guys like it. So after watching this video, please either leave a dislike or a like. A dislike meaning you don't like the new format, you want me to go back to the previous style of Setup Wars. If you guys like the new format, just drop a like. That's all I ask for. That's gonna determine if I continue this series or not. But anyways, with that said, let the Setup Wars begin. So a lot of you guys have actually seen my current setup back at home, which was the ultra wide with the white and red color scheme. I'm actually going to be redoing that setup from scratch, and that's going to be coming up later this year. But there's something that I use with my setup on a daily basis, and that's LastPass, which is also kind enough to sponsor this video. A lot of you guys know that I worked with LastPass multiple times before, and I've used them for years now, way before they reached out to sponsor this video, and they just made my life so much easier by keeping track of all my passwords. As a content creator, I have so many different accounts and websites that I use to essentially run my channel. Whether that's looking up music for my videos, downloading games to benchmark, purchasing products for review, or just simple everyday tasks. LastPass takes out the stress of remembering all my passwords and keeps it safe from hackers. Also, their multi-factor authentication keeps all your information secured and protected. To learn more about LastPass, click on the link below. Once again, a huge thanks to LastPass for sponsoring this video. Alright guys, so this is how the format's gonna be for this episode. Unlike before, which was scripted, I had notes and stuff ready to go and what to say for each setup. This time it's gonna be raw. I didn't have any time to prepare. This is actually my first time opening up these setups. I've never seen them before, so you guys will get my first real reaction as well as impressions. And at the end, I'm just gonna give my overall rating of the setup out of 10. Pretty straightforward stuff. And to help me with this, I'm using my editor's MacBook Pro. He recently picked this up and I have no clue how to use this thing, to be honest, but he showed me a few things of how to swap between photos. So he set everything up for me. So all I have to do is just go through the pictures and give you guys my impressions and tips and stuff like that. But yeah, anyways, with that said, let's just begin. All right guys, so here goes nothing. I'm gonna open up the first setup, which I believe it's from David, and start the show. Okay, so first impressions, this is one hell of a badass looking setup. I'm actually impressed. The presentation is really nice. It's symmetrical, so that's always a plus. And without even looking at the notes, I can tell he's some sort of a programmer or a coder, judging by those vertical placed monitors. Speaking of the notes, let's actually take a look at it and see where he's from. So this is David's setup. He's 37 years old, located in LA, and he's actually a developer / consultant for VR, AR games and experiences. Okay, that's pretty cool. And the setup's purpose is developing, editing, and gaming. Okay, let's dive in a little closer. That's a really clean setup. So for the monitors, looks like he's rocking two LG 24-inch monitors that he hooked up for portrait mode. Honestly, it says 24 inches in the notes, but I don't think these are 24 inches. They seem a little wide for that, to be honest, but I don't know. So the middle monitor is the Acer Predator X34, which is a gaming ultrawide, and on the top we've got a BenQ 24-inch. See, the top monitor is actually more like a 24-inch, whereas the side monitors aren't 24 inches. Let's take a look at the peripherals. Looks like he's using the same mouse as me. Got the Logitech G900, and for the keyboard, it's the Code 87 keyboard with the portable keycaps. For audio, it does look like he has a set of headsets hanging from the left side over there. We got the Perriot Zik, whatever that is, and for gaming, he's got the Astro A50s for the Xbox and PC. So yeah, this is actually a custom-built desk by David, and it looks like he painted everything in matte black. There's even a cutout here on the side for his PC, a 5960X, two EVGA Titan X and SLI. This is the water-cooled version from EVGA. And we've got 64 gigs of RAM at 2800 megahertz. Overall, a beast PC, and it's really clean with the white and black color scheme. I don't know so much about the blue RAM stick, but overall everything else looks really clean. Looks like on the side of the wall he's hooked up his VR gear. We've got the Oculus Rift, looks like HTC Vive and the controllers. And check this out, guys. he has some sort of a strap hooked up on the ceiling so he can hook up his headset on and bring it down whenever he needs to play, which is pretty clever, I gotta say. Oh, he has an entire area dedicated for VR. Check this out, guys. He's calling it the lab. Wow, looks like there's some cables up top that's holding up the actual VR headset. Oh, so it doesn't get in the way when he's walking around. That's actually very smart. That is pretty sweet, I'm not gonna lie. That is the ultimate VR setup right there. I wish I had that much space, honestly, for my HTC Vive. It's one of the reasons why I'm not even using it at my home, because it is so cramped in the loft area. I do gotta give you props on the audio game. We got a set of Warfidel Diamond 220 speakers that are hooked up to the Creative Sound Blaster. Excellent work with the cable management. Honestly, I don't even see where the wires are underneath the desk. Looking at the notes, actually, it looks like the wiring is built into channels within the desk and inside the walls and across the ceiling. So yeah, excellent work with the wire management. Against the wall over here, looks like there's some more controllers and a UPS system. And even the wires on the top of his desk are clean. No wires coming from the keyboard. And there's even a channel raceway, I don't know if you guys can see that, behind the phone, the Sound Blaster, and even his Amazon Echo. This setup is freaking pretty much flawless, guys. I don't know what to say. Everything's on point, it's organized, it's well thought out. I love the custom built desk. It works perfectly with this setup. Organization, symmetry, it's got purpose. I have no reason not to give this guy a seal of approval. What do you guys think? Wow, I can't believe I'm doing it. Okay, yeah, David, congratulations, dude, if you're watching this. This submission is from January, by the way, so I don't know if you still subscribe to the channel, but if you are, congratulations, dude. I'm giving you the Setup Wars seal of approval. I have no reason not to give you one. And just to recap, someone who receives a seal of approval will get $100 in cash, a TechSource t-shirt if they want, but most importantly, a one-of-a-kind, unique, custom-made plaque that they can gladly put on their setup or whatever they want. But yeah, David, congratulations, dude. This is a badass gaming and productivity setup. I'm really loving your VR setup you got there. But yeah, if you're watching, toss an email to setupwars@gmail.com. Toss an email to setupwars@gmail.com to claim your prize. Absolutely stunning setup, dude. I'm impressed. All right, next up is Jacob from Atlanta, Georgia. He's 32 years old and his profession is a cardiovascular technologist. I honestly don't even know what that is. The setup purpose is gaming and research. And the first thing I noticed is the pictures are in vertical mode. That's actually one of the requirements. You have to put them in landscape mode, but for some reason, this setup made it to the cut. Oh, here we go, never mind. We got some landscape pictures here. Oh, it's a hybrid setup. We got a PC and a laptop on there as well. So the theme over here seems to be Star Wars. So we got an all white with some black accents. Ooh, that PC looks really nice, actually. There's some pretty cool props in there. How did you fit two lightsabers in there? Oh, this is actually a water-cooled PC. And those lightsabers aren't props. They're actual tubes. Wow, okay. Let's take a look at some specs. It's rocking the 7700K at 5 gigahertz, MSI 1080, which is overclocked, and we've got 16 gigs of RAM, and of course a bunch of water cooling parts from EK. Take a look at those fan grills. That looks pretty sick. Looks like everything was custom made in here. I love the little props down here too. Looks like we got Darth Vader and looks like Skywalker in a very awkward pose. What is he even doing? Okay, so the custom build took him over 100 modification hours to complete. Ooh, even the case has some nice artwork around it on the side panels and in the front as well. All right, so it looks like we have an LG ultrawide hooked up on the wall. This is actually the 34-inch curved ultrawide, and underneath that we have his MacBook Pro. So for peripherals, he's rocking a Sadie's RGB keyboard. We also got the Logitech 303 gaming mouse. Yeah, it doesn't look like he drilled a hole for the keyboard and mouse, but the rest of the wires are being held up using the Signum rack. He just kind of dumped everything on there. My overall thoughts on this setup, I think you did a great job putting everything together. It's consistent with a color scheme, it's organized, cable management's great. The desk surface itself isn't that cluttered. Looks like you only kept the stuff that you're really using on there. I don't know so much about the MacBook Pro placements. Maybe we can put that on a stand and push it off to the left side. But I'm guessing you put that there to kind of cover up the ultra-wide mount and as well as cover up the cables for the mouse and keyboard. So I guess that's fine. The only other thing I would really recommend is maybe putting some wall art above your monitor. Your first picture actually has a 5 piece mural painting of a stormtrooper, but in your other pictures, it's not there. So I think you just photoshopped it there just to kind of show what it looks like. But honestly, it looks really good up there. And I do recommend picking up some sort of painting or wall art and putting it on top of your setup. I feel like that would be the icing on the cake. So to conclude my overall rating, I would say 7 out of 10. Only because there are some things you can tweak or maybe add to your setup to make it pop more. And I feel like that PC, by the way, beautiful, beautiful PC, but I feel like it kind of stands out. It's such an awesome custom modded PC, and then when you look at everything else, it just kind of seems basic, kind of seems out of place. But I don't know, those are just my thoughts. Maybe you could do some other cool custom work across your setup to kind of match the level of creativity that your PC has. Again, that's just my 2 cents. I would love to know what you guys think about his setup. Do you agree with my rating? If not, let me know in the comment section. Okay, moving on to the next setup. All right, next up is Jan. He's 18, from Austria. He's a student majoring in computer science, and the setup purpose is gaming, After Effects, video editing, graphic design, and programming. What? What is this? Is this a mistake? What, just a bunch of pictures. Did you send me a list of your... Where's the photos, dude? Oh my God. Are you serious? I think he misunderstood what I was asking for. This guy, is he trolling? Did he legit just Photoshop his own setup? There's even a setup or a seal of approval on the wall. He even cut, look at this, even for cable management, the wire for the keyboard is going underneath the monitor. Oh my God, how much time did this guy spend on this? It's a 5 out of 10. All right, moving on. Okay, now here we go. Now this is a setup. Holy cow. This has my name written all over it. Look at that, just beautiful presentation. All right, so this guy's name is Joe. He's 21 years old. He's from the US, New York specifically. I was just there actually a few weeks ago. His occupation, he's a United States Marine. Oh, very nice. And he's also a student. Thank you for your service, by the way, Joe. This is honestly a beautiful setup. That looks really clean. I love the black and red consistency throughout your setup. Beautiful work on that. Okay, so monitors, looks like he's got a BenQ, a 24-inch 1080p BenQ monitor on the bottom, and we also got a 23-inch 1080p LG monitor up top. And we even have a laptop on the side here. It's an Alienware 15R2. It's a 4K laptop with touchscreen. For peripherals, he's got the Logitech K55 keyboard. We got the Logitech G502 Proteus spec mouse, an extended black and red mouse pad, and he even has an extended mouse pad for his audio interface. Check this out, guys. That is adorable. Oh, I just noticed the speakers too. They're kind of blending in with the wall. So these are the Rockwell, I think that's how you say it, AS-M5 bookshelf speakers. His audio game is actually not that bad. He's rocking the Scarlett audio interface with the CM25 microphone and Studio HP60. Now the PC powering everything also looks really nice. It's got the i5 7500. We have a GTX 1080 and 16 gigs of RAM. One thing I do recommend right off the bat I noticed is obviously your SSD. It sticks out because it doesn't blend in with your color scheme. A simple fix to this is just picking up some skins from Amazon. They're really cheap, either in black carbon fiber or red, whatever color you want, but it's really easy to skin that SSD and make it blend in with the rest of your build. The rest of the build is actually looking really clean. I love the color choices you picked on the cables. It's different, it's unique. Cable management, very clean. Looks like he's using a J-channel raceway, running the wires through that. There's even some things hooked up underneath the desk, like his power strip. And we even have an Anchor USB hub over here for easy access. Overall thoughts, very beautiful setup, put together very nicely. I always love setups when they put a lot of attention to detail and keeping the color scheme consistent throughout. And you can definitely see that in Joe's setup. Symmetry is definitely there. I love the black and red acoustic foams he's got in the back, and the lighting is also on point. It's not too obtrusive. Yeah, I got no complaints or recommendations. This setup is put together really well. I think Joe knew what he was doing. This setup is on point. He actually has a setup. Check this out, guys. This is his setup before. This was a little over a year ago, which he submitted to Setup Wars and he didn't get approved. But this is actually a huge, huge upgrade from coming from that. Look at that. I don't come across a lot of double stacked monitor setups like this, but I would say this is definitely in the top 5 from what I've seen on the show so far. Excellent, excellent setup. My rating on this is a solid 9 out of 10. But again, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. And number 4 is JOHAN, coming all the way from Sweden, and this is his white and black, I'm guessing Star Wars themed setup. All right, so JOHAN is 39 and he is a CTO at a software company, and the purpose of the setup is for gaming and developing. Monitor of choice is the PG348Q from Asus. It's an ultra-wide, and looks like we've got the Corsair K65 rapid fire RGB keyboard with the Death Adder Elite mouse from Razer. And he did in fact drill a hole for both the wires. Nicely done. The setup is very minimalistic. I like that he only has just the peripherals and his Edifier speakers. Luna clips, by the way, I recognize those from anywhere because I'm using the same ones. The red versions actually for my own setup. Absolute beast speakers, I love them to death. Now the PC is mounted on the wall, and that is the first thing that caught my attention. Let's take a closer look at this beast. So he's using the popular Thermaltake white P3 case, which is, I would say, one of the very few cases that you can actually mount against the wall. The CPU is the 7820X 8-core processor. We also got an Asus GTX Strix 1080, which by the way is painted in white. Beautiful work there. And for RAM, this is actually interesting. He's got 98 gigs of RAM, and he's using 2 different types of sticks. 4 of them are the Vengeance RGB, and then the other 4 are the regular Corsair Vengeance LPX sticks. The cable management's pretty good. Looks like we have a rack up there holding up a lot of the cables. I don't know what's going on around this area, but there is a channel raceway routing a few cables down to this massive power strip. Is that a power strip? I think it's thick as hell. Jesus. But we also have a channel raceway for the PC cables as well. So yeah, all the PC wires are running through this channel raceway near the bottom. Very clean job there. I don't really have any recommendations on the setup. It's really hard to recommend or critique a setup that's minimalistic like this one, for example, especially since he did such a great job keeping everything so organized and clean. The PC is honestly one of my favorite things about this setup, but you did a great job overall, JOHAN. My overall rating for this is a solid 9 out of 10, hands down. Thank you for entering. Last but not least, we have Victor. Wow, that's actually that's a really nice presentation. Look at that PUBG pan. Okay, so yeah, this is Victor. He's 29. He is also from Sweden. Welcome, fellow Sweden viewer. His occupation, he's a project leader for construction, and the setup purpose is for gaming, streaming, and working. That is a hell of a setup for working. So the monitor he's using is a super ultra wide from Samsung. This is a 49-inch. It's very similar to the one I actually reviewed on the channel. Looks like it's actually mounted against the wall, and the cables are running through the wall itself because I don't see any cables coming out of the monitor. Nicely done. The keyboard is the SteelSeries M800. We also got a SteelSeries Rival Hyper Beast mouse with a SteelSeries mousepad. For audio, he's rocking a SteelSeries 840 headset, and I think he has a set of speakers, which are the Sonos Play. We got a 5x2 and a Sonos sub, which I'm guessing is underneath his setup. Now the desk setup is actually 2 different desks, and he's using the IKEA Linman tabletops with the Alex drawers to hold them as support. All right, so the PC powering everything is actually water cooled. It's rocking the 7700K at 4.4 gigahertz. Come on, you can overclock that better. That thing can easily hit 5 gigahertz, especially since it's water cooled. We also got 64 gigs of RAM, Jesus, and it's at 3600 megahertz with the MSI Seahawk 1080 Ti using the EK water block, really nice. Oh, he's got a second PC, which is his streaming PC. There's really not that many pictures of that, but that one is rocking a 6700K at 4 gigahertz. We got 16 gigs of RAM, and it's got an Asus 1080 Founders Edition. I didn't even see that PC in the back. Oh, you can kind of see it from this angle over here. Okay, so it's kind of hidden behind his main PC. Interesting. What's also interesting is that he's using a single 360mm rad to cool both the CPU and GPU. That's interesting, unless there's another radiator in the back, but I could be wrong. There's not that many pictures for this setup. I was hoping to see more, but overall it's very simple, not much going on here to be honest. I do love the lighting though. I like how you put those Philip Hue bulb things behind the PC and also behind the speakers. The lighting on here is on point. Now here's something I would recommend. Since you are drilling holes through your wall to route the cables through, and you're using a case that can be easily mounted against the wall, what I would do is mount that PC on top of your monitor, right directly in the center, mount the cables through the wall, and you can move that other PC, your streaming PC, closer on the right side. I think that will look a lot cleaner. I only say that because there's not much going on above your monitor. You got this big blank white space. Maybe you could put some artwork on there or something, but I do recommend using that space though. You kind of just give your setup a more full look. And since we're on the topic of mounting stuff on the wall, maybe even mount your speakers on the wall, either using a wall shelf or just mount them directly against the wall. The reason why I say that is because you went through the trouble of mounting your ultra wide against the wall with no cables being shown. So I think the setup would look really awesome if it has this levitating look. So keeping the surface area very clean and having everything else mounted against the wall without any wires showing would look really, really sweet in this setup. But yeah, that is my 2 cents. My overall rating, I would say a solid 8 out of 10. Thank you very much, Victor, for entering. But yeah, guys, that pretty much wraps up this new episode of Setup Wars. Don't forget to vote on your favorite setup by leaving a comment down below. Also, please don't forget about the rating system. Dislike the video if you don't like the new style of Setup Wars, but leave a like if you did like it. Personally, I had a blast making this video. It was really fun just to sit down and go with the flow. Don't worry about any scripting or any nonsense. It was actually really fun to shoot this video. Maybe because it's something new, but whatever it is, I really enjoyed it. And also guys, if you really enjoyed it, like you really enjoyed this new style of Setup Wars compared to the other one, I think I can promise, I don't want to promise yet, but I think I can bring back Setup Wars every single Monday. I can do this style every single Monday because it's actually a lot easier to shoot and a lot easier to edit. Everything's already synced up. I just have to throw it on a timeline, do some cuts, render it out. So if you guys really enjoyed it, I think I could bring it back and do it every single Monday for you guys. But anyways, that's up to you. That's not up to me. Thank you again for watching. As always, I will see you in the next one.